Cheryl Todd here from 2019 CPAC in Maryland, and I've had a chance to catch up with my good friend Willis Lee. Now, Willis has been on the board of directors of the NRA for about 3 years now, and he is up again for election. So, you know, this doesn't just happen on its own. It requires the members, the membership to have a say, and it's time for you to have a say. And so anytime that we are voting for anyone at any level for anything, it's our responsibility to do our research. And so I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to pick Willis's brain a little bit and talk to him about what it is he has been doing as a board member and what he plans to do. Thank you so much for finding a few minutes to talk with us.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thanks for having me here. This is great to see you here in Maryland.
Yes.
Away from Arizona, away from all our other travels.
Yes, absolutely. Now, one of the things that is so important to know is when other people have endorsed or trust the candidates that you are going to vote for any election, and you have an endorsement that is, I mean, it almost kind of, chokes me up a little bit because it's somebody that I respect so much. Colonel Oliver North has endorsed Willis for the board, and he is the only person that Colonel Oliver North has ever endorsed for the board?
For the NRA board. Now, and you'll get this, Cheryl, because you know my ego. You get endorsed by Colonel Oliver North, and that's pretty humbling. And it doesn't matter who you are. So I am pleased, and I'm tickled that Ollie has that much trust and confidence in me. But the flip side is I'm also endorsed by Alan Golly with the Second Amendment Foundation. And I am tickled to be able to say that those two endorsements that cover the spectrum of our Second Amendment rights is very humbling and very gratifying.
Absolutely. I believe that these men would not have endorsed you had you not earned their respect, earned their trust in the work that you do. So just talk to us a little bit about, you're on maybe a committee or 6, right? What are those committees? What have you been doing during your time as a board member so far?
Well, it's interesting. I'm on 6 committees and I'm a program manager. Some of the ways it impacts, even the morning that we started here at CPAC, I was on a committee meeting. I'm the co-chair of the Collegiate Programs Committee. And we were deciding Coaches of the Year and All-Americans for Collegiate shooting, which is just an exciting new realm for me. But I'm also on most legislative committees for legislative policy, federal affairs, grassroots development, and I'm on military and veterans affairs, which is near and dear to my heart as a veteran, as a West Pointer. I get to chair, though, the NRA Outreach Committee. And this is just an exciting development, exciting initiatives. And one of the things I get to do, for instance, that ties in with CPAC, Cheryl was just with us, we just got off the stage interviewing Maj Toure on the CPAC main stage, and that's incredibly satisfying to be able to do that and talk about the Second Amendment.
Absolutely, and those of us who might have been living in a cave for a while and maybe don't know who Maj Toure is, he is actually going into the neighborhoods, going into the places across this country that maybe never even considered themselves connected to the Constitution, right?
And he can go there and because he's from there, he has that rapport that I wouldn't necessarily have going into an urban area, and he can teach them about firearms safety and education. It's an incredible process.
It really is, and that's a part of the NRA that really, it gets lost in all of the noise of the other side who's trying to constantly vilify the NRA and say that they're, we're bad guys somehow. I'm a Life member myself, so I say we. Is how much of an emphasis there is in the NRA on training, on safety, on teaching children how to grow up safely around firearms.
It's incredible because I come from the political world into the NRA. I do a lot of work with NRA ILA, but ILA is less than 1/3 of the NRA. The bulk of the NRA is general operations, and that includes, as an example, our Eddie Eagle program, which last year celebrated 30 years and 30 million children trained in firearms education safety.
Stop, don't touch, run away, tell an adult, tell a grown-up, right?
It's just incredible. Now we have NRA University, we have NRA clubs on universities, so we are working toward teaching, training, reminding the younger generation of what we are and what their Second Amendment means to them.
Which is so vital because if we don't know our rights, why do we care when somebody else comes along and tries to chip away at them and call it smart gun laws and common sense nonsense, right?
And they're always coming, and they don't
Yes.
want to stop, and that's why we won't stop.
Absolutely. So in your, your campaigning, I can't imagine that you're not going to get reelected. But what can you tell folks about what you have in store should you be reelected?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to all of you who have voted, and all of you who haven't voted. Get out your ballot in last month's magazine, check my name, and then send that on in. Because this is a competitive year, and there are a lot of great candidates on there. But if there are candidates in particular you want, pull it, vote, send that ballot in. 7% of us vote in this election. That's ridiculous. 120% of us complain about the NRA
Yes.
board. This is a way to influence who the board members are. I want to stay and I want to serve because of the work on outreach, because of the work on all of the committees, and being able to transition to all of our shooting groups, be it GOA, USA Shooting, Second Amendment Foundation, NRA. And that's what we need to put together.
Absolutely. And, sometimes people say, well, what does the board even do? You never see them anywhere. They're not active. I see Willis. I see you everywhere. I mean, the places that I am at myself, but also, your social media is, you must have frequent flyer miles like nobody.
Well, here's the catch, Cheryl, and you know this too. What we do is important, and it's crucial to... Are we getting photobombed now?
Yes. Speaking of...
This is great. We were just talking about Maj
you.
being on the big stage at CPAC and having him here and letting all of these folks know how important it is that we all work together in an inclusionary manner and work on the Second Amendment rights because those are our civil rights.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. So I'm going to catch up with you for your own interview in just a second. Let me just finish up here with
Thanks, Maj.
with Willis. That's awesome. If you're going to be photobombed, that's the guy to be photobombed.
That's fun.
So yes, the continued connection with the community. I mean, you really are out there interacting with people. You're trying to engage them and excite them and activate them to help them understand that, I can only do so much with what I do. You can only do so much with what you do. If every single person engages themselves in the conversation about our constitutional rights, our Second Amendment rights, about firearms training, about passing the torch to the younger generation, that's where we get to move the needle.
Absolutely. And here's what's helpful. Now, you guys follow me on Willis Lee NRA because I'm pretty much a low energy guy. This is why I have energy. I watch everything Cheryl does out there, and it's hard to keep up. So I want to be like Cheryl, so thank you. Thank you for having me on here. Re-elect Willis. Thank you.
Re-elect Willis. I love it. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around. We've got much more coming up from the 2019 CPAC, and Maj is up next. So stick around.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Oh, thank you.